Absolute Wealth. Real investors, real results.
Hey everybody, this is John Carter with Absolute Wealth, filling in for Hubert Centers tonight, who is traveling. And what I'll be looking at here is what happened in the stock market today, and if this is actually quote-unquote the real deal or just a pullback. And to see if something is the real deal, you have to just I use these moving averages here. This is the 8, the 21, the 34, the 55, and the 89. Okay, in general, if you have a strong uptrend, you'll see that these moving averages are all stacked on top of each other, like this, bam, 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 bam. And if you get pullbacks into these levels, they do act as support. So the question is will this support hold, or is this the start of something bigger? And you can see that 89 is typically kind of the last bastion of support before a real severe move down. So we've still got a little bit of room here, another three some odd points at that level. But the question now is, when I see something like this, I want to go and check the other things out. So if the sell-off is real, then generally you're going to see bonds have moved higher. And if we look at TLT, you can see that TLT had a significant move higher today. And we would also see some movement in the Japanese yen ETF, and you can see it spiked up today too. So there actually is some real selling coming into this market, and the question now is just how long will it last? And you can see the cues here. So what I'm looking for is I'll be watching the signal on the cues, which is the NASDAQ 100, to see if this squeeze here actually triggers short. You can see here that the waves are below zero, and that we've essentially back here at support, and if there's a break, it could actually have a pretty decent fall and lead the way lower in many of the other indexes. Okay, so at this point, I do think that this could be a legitimate intermediate term sell-off. Okay, and what do I mean by intermediate term? By intermediate term, I mean a 6 to 8 week selling process. Okay, it doesn't mean that the markets are going to go down every day for 6 to 8 weeks. It just means that I don't expect us to get anywhere near these highs for 6 to 8 weeks. I'm expecting the trend to be down. Okay, so tomorrow will be kind of a confirmation day of that. If we do get a close on the cues below Thursday's low, and of course today's low, if we close solidly below that and the squeeze triggers short, then I'm looking for a continuation of this trend, and I'd look for the cues to retest these lows down here, which would, at a minimum, which would take us back to 63.50. Okay. For individual stocks that I like here on the downside, I really like CRM. This is one where you can see it's leading the way lower. Okay, and we're already testing that 89 period moving average. And remember, once we get through that, it kind of opens up the door for a fairly significant move after that, and you can see we've already got a decent sell-off here. So for me, if you're aggressive, any move back up to, well, conservative would be any move back up to 167. If you're aggressive, then any little strength here is worth getting, and you can do the 170 put options that even expire this week, or of course the monthly ones will give you a little bit more time. Okay, hope that helps. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you at the next update.